Hello there ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm going to be updating you on some more latest news. The latest theory now is currently about even Persic, the player for the entirety of this transfer window and summer that we have been heavily linked with. We have had 2 or 3 bids rejected now for the current player. Apparently he has been in talks with Inter Milan of signing a new deal with the club. I think he's got 3 years on his current contract left. And apparently, yes, we've had 3 bids rejected. The one that Damasio had announced, £48 million that Inter Milan are still looking for, and we're not budgeting on that. And this is what Inter Milan still want. And we know Damasio had to close the case a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. Currently said Manchester United have currently given up and they have ended their interest in Ivan Perisic. And a couple of weeks ago, Luis Spalletti did rebuff it, didn't he? He did say I can't keep against his own will 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then he rebuffed it days later, basically saying he's convinced he will stay, and he has suggested on a couple of occasions that there is no further negotiations going on between the two clubs for Ivan Perisic, and we did thought this was currently off. And the directors had also resisted and were reluctant to any offers for the current player. They're all convinced, basically, the Inter Milan board, he was going to stay with the club. I think he's still trying to force the move is Ivan Perisic. But he's an highly experienced player, he's been at Wolfsburg, he's been at Dortmund, he's a highly experienced player, good, fast, quick, tremendous speed, good in the air, can put balls into the box also, very, very good. And we are crying out for that creative winner, but even the agent in the past has tried to get the deal finalised. They're not accepting any bids whatsoever for this situation. But apparently, there's still negotiations going on. The Ivan Perisic agent has travelled, I think, to Manchester to discuss with currently our officials of finalising a deal for the current player. This is what's being said in the media. The agent of Perisic has met up to the Manchester United officials to try and negotiate a current deal. We have been trying to get the deal finalised for the majority of the summer. We know Inter Milan has still been stubborn though. They've tried demanding Martial as part of the deal, which was around 42 million. But Mourinho wasn't keen on sanctioning Antonio Martial off. But apparently now, even Perisic is not only a Manchester United target. So he is 28. He is good. He is a good player, and he was a standout player for Inter Milan last season, even though they didn't have a good campaign. We all thought it was off. We all thought the deal was totally off. But now, depending on Inter Milan how they react again, there's negotiations going on. But they're not changing their stance. They still want £48 million for the player. So now, apparently, This is Chelsea's target. Chelsea are still interested in the current player. He's on their radar. And apparently now, if Barcelona fail the pursuit of Ousmane Dembele and Coutinho, then they will go into Ivan Perisic. So they may be emerged as a front runners. They may have more chance of getting Perisic, because now they've raised all this money for Neymar. They will will to pay to an extent what they think he is worth, but they're only demanding £48 million anywhere. But now this is not Barcelona's main priority target. I think this is their third alternative player on their list now. So they have come into the race for Ivan Perisic of Barcelona. So they're interested in the current player as well. So whether he'll sign a new deal, whether he'll stay with Inter Milan, or whether he will go with Chelsea, or he will go to Barcelona, or even still possibly make a move to Manchester United, But I did say his comparison to our other winners is Ivan Perisic. He is comparison to our other winners, and we need that winger. But Martial's going to struggle for game time if Perisic does come in, as I said before. But with the Barcelona situation, their top two targets are Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele. And Ousmane Dembele, apparently there has been negotiations going on between the two clubs. I think Borussia Dortmund did they set a price tag out that they were demanding £150 million or £130 million for this player. There has been negotiations going on, as I did say. The Barcelona director travelled to Germany to agree on a fee. He said his point of view as Ousmane Dembele of what he thinks. He has refused to discuss with Borussia Dortmund, really. He hasn't really discussed things. But apparently Barcelona have just recently had a hundred million bid rejected for the player. But I did say when you've got that kind of money, the players that you aim for are not going to come cheap. And Ousmane Dembele, a player of his calibre, he's a top quality player. So they only did buy him for, was it 15 million from Rennes, did Borussia Dortmund in his debut season. Ousmane Dembele's, I think he scored 5 or 6 goals, was it? I can't really remember. He's on a 4-year contract. I think he's on a 4-year contract with the club as well. But there has been negotiations going on. But they've just had a bid rejected. Have Barcelona? I think he is adamant that he will join Barcelona. Will Ousmane Dembele? But that's one of their main priority targets as well. I presume more things will get discussed, but Ousmane Dembele has refused to react to Borussia Dortmund. He hasn't really spoke much about it yet on the case, but Barcelona are interested in him as well. A player that's like Mbappe's forms in France are fantastic. He's good, he's strong, very fantastic, tenacious player. Good two-footed player also, Ousmane Dembele, and I do really highly rate the player. Arsenal have been interested in the player as well, so he's attracted interest from a few clubs as Ousmane Dembele. Also, I said Barcelona want Philippe Coutinho. As I did say, reports had broke out yesterday that Coutinho had put a transfer request in. I did say they've approached his representatives on occasions to try and get the deal finalised. The agent's gone to Barcelona to try and get the deal finalised. And even Barcelona have travelled to Liverpool to England to try and get this to an agreement. And they still have not agreed a full-on fee yet for the player. And apparently a 90-something million bid was rejected within 35 minutes. This is what I heard. This is what I heard within 35 minutes. And apparently, the speculation going on about this, Coutinho now has insisted. What I put back in 2013 on Twitter, I love the club, great players, and I says he hopes he can step his career, and I feel very happy. That was back in 2013 that I tweeted out. And even Klopp said he loves the club and all that, and etc. etc. But it did, reports broke out yesterday that he was prepared to put in a transfer request. As I did say regarding Coutinho, a transfer request had been rejected. As he put the transfer request in, we know the owners come into the equation. The owners, they're basically they said he's not getting sanctioned. They made it clear that the player is currently not for sale, and they were not willing to consider to accept any bids whatsoever off Barcelona. So basically, there's no price tag set out from Liverpool's point of view and stance. There's no bids at all because they want to keep the player, but he did react, as I said, Coutinho. He interacted with the club director, of what the owners had suggested out. He notified him saying with his desire to leave the club. He does want to leave the club, and this was basically mentioned. And we know the current player is injured. I think he missed today's game. He's set to miss Hoffenheim, and he hasn't been training with Liverpool, has Philippe Coutinho, but he's now not having a lot of faith in Jurgen Klopp because he's basically wanting to make the move. This is what Coutinho has said with his point of view. This is what he suggested out in a player, and the owners were convinced he'd be at Liverpool by the end of the month. They got him in 2013 and he's had 4 fantastic seasons with Liverpool. One of the most creative players in world football. Drives forward, he's good in the air, he's good at tenacious, compassive, luxury in Liverpool's midfield, operates well in that number 10. Look at his stats, 65 chances, 37 crosses for the midfielder, 14 goals last season, 7 assists, That is fantastic, but Coutinho is unhappy the way negotiations and discussions have been going on between the two clubs. There has been a 70 million bid rejected, an 89 million bid rejected, as I said. But now Barcelona may step up and they may offer a huge amount of money to try and then make Liverpool maybe sanction him off. They may come in with an next bid in the region of maybe £150 million for the player, but Liverpool are standing firm. Klopp's had discussions with Coutinho's had discussions with Klopp, and Coutinho and Klopp standing firm. Liverpool are being very, very defensive. They're not softening the stance. they're still confident he will stay, and they are not willing to sanction him off whatever the price. And this is what Klopp said, and this is what the Liverpool board have suggested out, and I presume more things will happen, but he does want to make the move, does Philip Coutinho, in this situation. And if they don't get the, and it could be, Suarez looking to reunite with Suarez. Back in 2014, scored 31 goals, did Suarez, when Suarez was there with Coutinho at Liverpool. But he could be in Barcelona's eyes, a long-term replacement for Iniesta, and that's what Barcelona want. So whatever the case will be, it says if they don't get the pursuit of Coutinho, if they don't get the pursuit of Dembele, they will look more in the region of even Perisic, which has been our main priority target for the entirety of the transfer window. Latest news now has come about Gareth Bale. Apparently now, latest news has broke out about Bale. Apparently now, I don't know if Real Madrid are still willing to sanction the current player off. I don't know. Apparently, we're not willing to considering to offer more than £90 million for the player. Mourinho apparently has insisted to Ed Woodward to maybe clash out £100 million to try and capture a player. The player who's receiving £385,000 a week at Real Madrid. He has been there now for 4 years. He's also He's also a target for Tottenham, who are the team who have not made their first significant signing yet. Could he possibly go back to Tottenham where he used to be? Where basically Real Madrid paid £85 or £90 million for the player from Tottenham. But it did say Mourinho, even the agents, Paul Corwart speculation. There wasn't confident it was going to happen. They classified it as rubbish talks, and the representatives classified it as a ridiculous story. So, but as it did say the other day, Mourinho had give up on the current player. What that? Bloody Sig's going dodgy. He did say the other day that Mourinho had give up on the player. He said he made it clear, did Mourinho? He said if he was under the coach's plans, if he was under the club's plans, and he was going to be starting in the Madrid game in the Super Cup, he would be giving up on the player. But if it was vice versa, he wasn't under the club plans, under the coach's plans, he would be first there in the queue for the player. So apparently, Bale is very unlikely, but it could still happen. And Bale has no desire to leave the club because he gave an interview to be started. He said he's concentrating on his football and stuff, concentrating on his fitness, and he's not really took much notice of the speculation that's going on around him and the rumours. And Madrid have been under pressure to sanction him. The directors, the board have been under pressure, with due to his fitness setbacks that he's been having because he has been injury prone, as we're all aware of. As much as I'd love him, but to be quite fair, I do now think he's staying at Real Madrid because he's a player that's good, he's strong, he's got tremendous speed, he's good in the air, he can put balls into the box also, and very, very class player, and he'd be fantastic for Manchester United, highly experienced as well, still got quite a few years ahead of him to elevate himself to that higher level, but we've heard it all since 2013, since he's risen up the ranks with Southampton, and he's got into the Tottenham squad. We've really heard it all since then, and it hasn't really died down. There's still rumours going on about Bale, but in my opinion, Real Madrid were looking to raise these current funds, to try and get Mbappe. But now Perez has insisted he's confident Bale will probably stay at the club. So, because now with the Mbappe situation, Real Madrid are basically now not going to get Mbappe because they've called their interest in Mbappe because now it looks like Real Madrid were going to get him. The LA Quick reported that Mbappe was either going to go to Madrid, he was either going to go to Paris Saint-Germain. We know City have been in there, we know Arsenal have had bids rejected, we know Barcelona have also made inquiries for the player, but reports have broke out now, and this could be confirmed as soon, I don't know when, but it could be confirmed very, very soon, that currently Mbappe now is a PSG player. So maybe Real Madrid could still maybe get another player, maybe of his calibre or another player. you know, and then they could still offload Bale or maybe get another player, not Mbappe, obviously, because it looks like he's going to PSG. They may still get another player, they may sanction him off. I don't know, but I just don't think Bale has got any intentions of leaving Real Madrid. So, with the Mbappe case, apparently now it's come to an agreement. I don't think it's fully confirmed yet. I still think it needs to be approved. I still think the lawyers need to fully approve this, but apparently this is 16 million a year that PSG have offered. I think this is 16 million a year that he's going to be currently receiving with PSG, and he's currently going to be signing a 5-year deal with the club. And this is what has been suggested out. Apparently, you wouldn't think Monaco would sell to French rivals, but he did say he would like to join Paris Saint-Germain, who've already. This will take their tally to over 350 million at least now when they put Mbappe into the ranks, you know, with Neymar, with Cavani at PSG, and staggering amounts of money for the young 18-year-old lad who have an absolutely fantastic campaign with Monaco last season. One of the highest prospects in world football, and he's just a class player, and that for an 18-year-old, he's going to become on the radar with Neymar as one of the world's most expensive players, one of the world's most young expensive players. He's currently going to be is Kylian Mbappe. Is this? I don't know if the fee is the fee like is there a fee that's been agreed. The reports were different. It did say it was 180 million odd. This was 150 million up front plus I think bonuses as well. And then it suggested it was 135 million plus 27 million in installments for the player as well. So it's going to be around 161 million to 180 million or something like that for the current player. But it's estimated this is 16 million a year he's currently going to be receiving from the club. If he was to go to Real Madrid, I think he was demanding over £200,000 a week. I think it was over £200,000 a week or something like that, if I'm right, if I've estimated that correctly. But it looks like he's set to be joining PSG, and this could be presented very, very soon. We know Monaco are going to raise money for this, but I did say it's always hard to find them replacements that you want, as I did say before. But yeah, dramatic story, and what else? And the publication have reported as well. The publications that have been reporting on the situation said it's just a matter of time now before the deal fully gets finalised for Mbappe. Mbappe, a player that, well, Manchester United were notified he wasn't keen under playing. We've slightly been linked to him early in the transfer window. He wasn't keen really playing under Mourinho. Mbappe, you know, him and Martial used to play together at Monaco in the Monaco Academy, I think, if I'm correct. I think they did. As much as Martial maybe would love Mbappe at Manchester United, but not going to happen. He's set now to be joining Paris Saint-Germain, and he's going to be in the ranks with Neymar as a partnership and Edison Cavani. It'd be interesting to see. He'll elevate to that higher level. You know, he'll be playing amongst different players, even though he's in the same league. So realistically now, it does, and his father's persuaded him to join the club. He did say he wants to leave Monaco. Maybe from Monaco's perspective, I'd be disappointed. I'd maybe try and give him another year at least at Monaco to express himself more. But he's going to be guaranteed first team football at Paris Saint-Germain. If he went to Real Madrid with Bale still there, he wouldn't be guaranteed first team football. So it could still happen. The Bale situation looks very unlikely. Real Madrid may still go for another player. They won't get Mbappe now. He's going to PSG. They may look in the region for a similarity player like Mbappe or in the same calibre. And then they may offload Bale to raise them funds. And we'll have to see what happens about that. Anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments and likes below on my channel. Subscribe to my channel as always. And take it easy. I'll see you later. Bye.